IMPD began issuing body-worn cameras to officers in 2020. Body-worn cameras are designed to increase transparency, ensure accountability, and enhance public trust by effectively using captured video. Additionally, the camera footage can be used to highlight the realities of police work, used in administrative and criminal investigations, and to improve training and policies. IMPD uses body-worn cameras that are designed to self-activate if certain standards are met. For example, a camera will activate when an officer arrives within 500 feet of a dispatched run, begins to run, violently shakes during a physical altercation. The camera is in a horizontal position for an extended period of time, if an officer activates emergency equipment with his or her patrol vehicle, or if an officer activates the camera by using a remote. The camera is attached to the officer's uniform mid-level in the chest area. The lens is fixed and does not capture everything that is seen and/or experienced by the officer. Once the body-worn camera is activated, it has a 30-second buffer during which the audio is not activated, but the video is. This feature allows video to capture sudden incidents where either the body-worn camera self-activates and/or the officer manually activates it. This critical incident video details an officer-involved shooting that occurred on August 27, 2023 at approximately 9:10 p.m. Preliminary information is being presented in this video with the intention of increasing public understanding of what occurred. This investigation is still in its early stages. It may take a year or longer for the investigative process to be completed. Understanding of the incident may change as additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. Warning: the following video contains graphic images and language. It is not suitable for all viewers. From August 25th through August 27th, officers were dispatched to the 4500 block of Woodland Drive on 5 separate occasions regarding 40-year-old Kendall Gilbert. Family members reported Mr. Gilbert was suffering from a mental health crisis, was making threatening comments, and damaging property within the residence. Over the course of these incidents, officers were unable to make contact with Mr. Gilbert, who remained alone in his room, behind a closed door, and uncommunicative. Officers provided family members with information on mental health provider resources, stated they would have IMPD's Mobile Crisis Assistance Team follow up, and advised family members to call back if Mr. Gilbert continued to engage in concerning behaviors. MCAT was next scheduled to work on Monday morning. On the fourth run at 5:20 p.m. on August 27th, officers advised family to leave the residence. When Mr. Gilbert was alone in the residence, officers decided not to make entry into the home and avoid escalating the situation. At 6:45 p.m., officers responded to the same address after a woman pushed her medical alert button stating someone was trying to kill her. When officers arrived, they found Mr. Gilbert standing outside the front door. When officers attempted to speak to Mr. Gilbert, he drew a machete from a sheath and stated he wanted to make war.
Front door's open. I don't know. Hey, what's going on, man? Take your hand off of the thing, dude.
Take your hand off of that, please. Get away from me, Keon. All I'm trying to do is talk to you. Ma'am, can you?
Ma'am, just go back in the house, please.
What's your name, buddy? My name is Vegeta. Okay, what's going on? My name is King Vegeta. Are you willing to take that off of your side and talk to me? Hell no.
We're busy right now. The male has a machete at his side.
Are you leaving?
Officers were able to help other members of the family out of the house. Mr. Gilbert, who was outside the home and holding a machete, verbally threatened officers. Officers attempted to speak with Mr. Gilbert, but he was not engaging in conversation. Mr. Gilbert made numerous threats towards officers. Officers maintained their distance in an effort to de-escalate the situation.
Hey, whoever fires a shot at me, I'm taking their head first. Whoever fires a shot at me, I'm taking their head first. Come in next door with me.
For more than 2 hours, officers attempted to communicate with Mr. Gilbert. The IMPD's Special Weapons and Tactics Team and the Crisis Negotiation Unit responded to the scene. Crisis negotiators were able to make contact with Mr. Gilbert. A psychologist with the Crisis Negotiation Unit was on scene assisting. Multiple negotiators spoke with Mr. Gilbert, however, negotiators were not able to have any meaningful conversation.
Hey, y'all the one that ain't gonna pull the trigger. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you to pull the trigger.
We don't want to pull the trigger.
Shut the fuck up.
No one wants to hurt you.
Come and make war with me.
Why do you?
How long am I gonna stand out here before you pull the trigger?
Why do you want that?
Why? How long am I gonna stand out here before you pull the trigger?
Nobody wants to pull the trigger.
SWAT identified a predetermined location where they would take action for the safety of the community and officers if Mr. Gilbert crossed that point. At approximately 9:10 p.m., Mr. Gilbert crossed beyond the pre-designated point. Members of the SWAT team utilized a distraction device and multiple less lethal devices. After the deployment of less lethal devices, Mr. Gilbert ran towards officers with the machete. Mr. Gilbert made contact with an officer holding a ballistic shield. SWAT team member Lieutenant Perkins discharged his service weapon, striking Mr. Gilbert.
And you want to enforce your laws on me? The laws of the devil mean nothing to me.
Hey man, get down on the ground. You're under arrest. Execute, execute, execute.
Go to the ground.
To the ground.
I got taser.
No, stop. Cease fire.
Bring the medic up, bring the medic up.
Medics. Right here.
The following is a portion of the previous video, paused and highlighted. It shows Mr. Gilbert running towards officers with the machete in his hand.
And you want to enforce your laws on me? The laws of the devil mean nothing to me.
Hey man, get down on the ground. You're under arrest. Execute, execute, execute.
Go to the ground.
Go. Ground.
I got taser.
SWAT medics were on the scene and immediately provided medical treatment. Mr. Gilbert was transported by Pike medics to Eskenazi Hospital, where he later passed away.
Head. Turn around. Disarm him. You got one right here in the abdomen. All right, let's go.
A machete and a large knife were recovered from the scene. No officers or uninvolved citizens were injured during this incident. The incident is being investigated by IMPD's Critical Incident Response Team. A separate and independent investigation will be conducted by IMPD's Internal Affairs Unit to ensure compliance with department policy. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office is being consulted throughout the investigative process. This incident will be reviewed by the Civilian Majority Use of Force Review Board. This occurs after the conclusion of the criminal process. In Indiana, a law enforcement officer may detain and transport a person in mental health crisis to an appropriate facility if the person is mentally ill, an immediate danger to themselves or others, or gravely disabled, and in immediate need of hospitalization and treatment. People in mental health crisis or their families can call 988 or visit the website below for suicide and mental health crisis resources.